It's Friday, February 19th. Let's talk PlayStation. Alright, we got a lot of stuff to talk about this week, so let's kick it off with free multiplayer this weekend. So starting today, PlayStation 4 Online is going to be completely free and ending on Sunday. This is, of course, celebrating the release of Street Fighter V, so that's great stuff there. All those fighting fans, you get to play your game if you don't have PlayStation Plus, but I think a lot of people do have PlayStation Plus. But either way, if you don't have it, you can play online for free on PS4. Take advantage of it if you don't have PS Plus. Moving on, Sony is going to be doing a little firmware beta test for the next PlayStation 4 firmware, which is 3.5. They're going to be doing it, they're saying early March, and there's actually sign-ups for it right now, where you can go to Sony's site and sign up to possibly be a beta tester. And when you are beta testing their firmware, you can actually have the ability to roll back the firmware, so it's not like a full-on thing. And of course, it's beta testing, so you're bug testing it. You're not just enjoying the extra firmware for the hell of it. So, but that is a thing, and you know, Sony did that the last firmware, and it seems like that's something they're gonna be doing moving forward. So, you know, expect more beta testing basically for Sony's future firmwares. But regardless, the beta testing is in early March, so we won't have to wait that long to find out what 3.5 is possibly going to have inside it. Because even though these people are going to have to like sign an NDA waiver saying, you know, that they're not going to tell people what's in the firmware, we're all going to see what's in that firmware. So we won't have to wait too long to see what's actually going to be in it. Hopefully there's some, you know, bigger marquee features that a lot of us have been wanting. I personally want to see, like, folder management on PS4. I'd love to see that. So earlier this week, it was revealed that a 3D animator named Mindy Lang had a little listing on her LinkedIn account about how she has worked, or is currently working on, Knack 2, a sequel to Knack, the PlayStation 4 launch title. And it even was listed as this project being worked on as early as May 2015. So, you know, that's the thing there. She quickly deleted it right after, but we do have like a screenshot of what looked of the screen and everything. This was a very real thing. So Knack 2 possibly being worked on. I mean, this is considered a rumor, but this is like one of those pretty concrete things where it's like, yeah, this is probably true. Especially considering that Mark Cerny himself, the PS4 architect who, you know, was the lead director of this game, of the original Knack, he was pretty forward in saying how he wanted to do a sequel to Knack, how he would love for Knack to be sort of a franchise, a series, a reoccurring model within Sony's you know, forward-looking business. So it's not really like a big shocker there that Knack 2 is being worked on. Knack, of course, the original game, I mean, it came out, got a lot of bad press. The reviews weren't that great. It was like, you know, it's just one of those launch titles where it's like, it's the typical okay launch title. It's not great, but it's not, I wouldn't necessarily say it's bad either. I actually enjoyed that game a lot when it came out, and certainly I would love for it to get a second go, because that's the thing, you know, a game that comes out just okay, there's a lot of room for it to possibly improve on, whereas a game that comes out immediately awesome, there's a lot of expectations for its sequel, and that's when, you know, people start to, you know, they can't temper their expectations properly and stuff. So at least with the original Knack, the good thing is that there's a lot of room for improvement. So I'm all for it. So once again, let's discuss about PlayStation VR's possible launch. Basically, GameStop CEO Paul Raines said that they were going to be releasing, or this past week, the CEO said that PlayStation VR was going to get released in the fall, which is contrary to what we've been told how many times now from Sony, which is at the first half of 2016. That's not in the first half of 2016. But quickly after, not only did the GameStop CEO Paul Raines retract this statement and say, oh, we don't actually know, we just know that we're going to be carrying it, Sony also denied this, basically saying that's not true. So we still have really no clue what's going on, but there was kind of these big headlines saying, like, oh, you know, PSVR possibly getting delayed or something. And that's the thing. I mean, if PlayStation VR was delayed, I mean, would be in no way, shape, or form a surprising announcement. I mean, especially considering the fact that we still don't have any announcements, and considering that Sony is very well known for delaying a lot of their products. So if PSVR gets delayed, I mean, who really didn't see that coming? Now let's talk a little bit more about some Crash Bandicoot, because even more stuff had to happen this past week regarding Crash Bandicoot, as I'm sure you're all well aware of already. So if you didn't know, this past week, Randy Falks, who works at Nika Toys, I believe it's called, NECA Toys or whatever, you know, a toy distributor that makes, you know, a lot of figures and stuff like that, was discussing about how they're working with Sony and they're doing some figures and stuff, and he basically said, like, oh yeah, and they're doing Crash again too. Just sort of offhandedly, which everyone else immediately took that as like, holy crap, that means a Crash game's actually coming. And there's all these big headlines saying Crash Bandicoot's finally coming back. And that news story actually had a little bit of time to sit for a lot of people, so it definitely gained a lot of traction there. And what's even more important about that news story is that that's like the first time where we've really heard about Crash Bandicoot coming back from a third-party sort of location, basically. You know what I'm saying? A third-party source. I mean, all this Crash tease, at the end of the day, has been coming from Sony. Since PS4's, you know, initial release and everything, Sony's been teasing Crash Bandicoot, but that's it. It's just coming from Sony, which of course, it, you know, makes you think like, oh, it's coming back. But this is the first time we've had like a separate company sort of like give us some concrete details of like, oh yeah, and Crash is coming back. So immediately people are going, holy crap, this is legit. This is totally real. And that's the thing. I even saw this and I was like, yeah, there's that little ounce of hope where I'm like, maybe it's possible because this is like coming from an outside source. But then quickly thereafter, not only did what's the guy's name? Randy Falk. Yeah, he basically retracted his statement. He said, you know, we're sorry about that or whatever. I believe a representative said this, basically that Randy's comments were taken a little bit out of context, and it was a little bit misunderstood. Basically, what he was saying is that if Sony does another Crash Bandicoot, they would love to do toys for Sony. And he also basically said that the representative said that Randy saw a fan-made picture of a Crash Bandicoot game for PS4 and thought that was like a real thing, basically, which is like the funniest fucking thing ever, because that's exactly what has been happening with this Crash Bandicoot scenario. You see a fan-made picture, you see this Photoshop picture, you see Sony teases. I mean, you see all this shit, and all it takes is one little post on a certain website, you know, a blog or something, or on Facebook, it gets spread everywhere, and then this idea starts going around again that Crash Bandicoot is going to be happening and whatnot. I'm still of the mind, even when that first news story came out and before Randy corrected his statements, I'm still of the mind, it's just not happening anytime soon. I would love for it to happen, but once again, here's another news story just giving us a dead end. Just no Crash Bandicoot. Lastly, this one we haven't really talked about in a long time because it's just like it was never super PlayStation specific, and it seemed like most interviews never really went anywhere. But basically, just recently, at the DICE Summit, Guillermo del Toro and Kojima were sitting down talking to Jeff Keighley. Jeff Keighley was talking about how he was basically referencing a couple of comments that Guillermo del Toro mentioned about how Guillermo a few months back basically said that he would never work in the games industry again or wouldn't try making another video game again, because apparently whenever Guillermo tries to make a game, it ends up getting messed up, which is true of his past. He tried to do something with THQ, that didn't work out. Tried to do Silent Hills, that didn't work out. So he basically said a few months back, I'm not doing any games anymore. Jeff Keighley asked about that, and Guillermo del Toro basically said, you know, yeah, basically that's all true, but if it's with Kojima, he'll do whatever the fuck Kojima wants. And that's like basically like an off-branded quote of what Guillermo said. He said that if it's with Kojima, he'll do whatever the fuck Kojima wants. And that's the thing. There have been, the past few months, again, we haven't really talked about it on this show, but a lot of interviews going on, whether it was with Kojima or whether it was with Del Toro, or both of them together. They've both been, you know, coming very forward and saying, we really wanted to do that project, we really wanted to do Silent Hills, we really wanted to work together. Who knows if it'll happen again? Maybe if we, you know, find the right partner or something, like who knows? But it was like multiple interviews for the longest time since the last time we have really talked about Silent Hills. We haven't talked about it in a while, but all those things have been going on. Now, you see this news story, and it's like, you know, you look at Kojima's recent dealings where it's like, you know, now he's free from Konami, he's got his own company now, he's got a deal with Sony where they're going to be doing games now, he's still talking to Del Toro, he's still, you know, he's got that good relationship with them, they're still talking frequently. It's like, you know, and they're just, it seems like every interview they do, they're always talking about it. We really wanted to do Silent Hills. We really want to do a project together. We really think it would be awesome. Come on. Dude, something's got to be happening here. Something. So, I mean, there's really nothing else to say other than the fact that, like, it's one of those situations where all the puzzle pieces are just falling right into place, you know? I mean, Silent Hills got canceled. It was a huge bummer, but everyone sort of started to make their peace with it and just realize, you know, fuck Konami, and it sucks that Kojima couldn't do it. That game would have been so awesome. But then you see, like, the first interview, and it's like, yeah, that game would have been great. See another one, it's like, oh, man, you really should do it. You see another one, it's like, dude, they're still talking about it. Like, you guys going to do it? And then Kojima's got his own company now, and it's like, everything is making so much sense here. If they obviously still want to do it, I'm gonna take a good guess here and say that Kojima's first game from his new company is possibly going to be a Del Toro mashup. Who knows if it will be in the same veins of what they want to do with Silent Hills, or if it will be a completely new project. All I know is, for me personally, I would love to see these two actually work on a game, whether it is or is not the original vision of what Silent Hills was supposed to be. But it's very evident to me, and it's very obvious to millions of other people who can obviously read this stuff on the internet. They want to do something together, and I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, like, dude, you guys better be working on it, because that would be awesome. And lastly, not really like a big news story, but I just thought this was funny. Ubisoft did this a cool little promotional video for Far Cry Primal, where they made a PlayStation 4 out of stone and a DualShock 4 out of stone, and it's just like one of those, like, videos that's just trying to get, like, some public outreach and just trying to, like, go viral or something like that. Nothing major, just, I don't know, I just thought it looked cool. Look at the guy, he was making a PS4 out of stone. What's up with that, man? Anyway, those are just some of the news stories I want to talk about with you guys this week. Random gaming topic was, why do people buy the same game every single year, whether it's a new Madden, NBA, or even, the new Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed or something? It seems like a lot of games have these, yearly releases, and the same people keep buying them. Why is that the case? Sly Cooper Let's Play, yeah, that's all great. We're actually almost done with that, so get ready for the next Let's Play. It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really interesting. I'm actually not sure what it's going to be just yet, but I hope you all will join me in that journey of possibly picking what the next game will be. Also, kind of some personal news, kind of a big thing. This whole thing you're looking at right now, this room, I'm actually going to be moving. I'm going to be moving March 1st, so this is the penultimate episode of Let's Talk PlayStation in this room, basically, because then the next episode would be on the, 26th, 25th, or whatever. So that would be the last episode in this room, and I will be going into a new place. I've been here for the past few years, and yes, that'll be all well and good. So, say bye to this setting that I've had for a very long time. It's I need more space, basically. It's a very small room, if you couldn't tell. I've lived in here for a very long time, so, over the years I started to make more money. I got, like, a real job, and I started to buy all this shit, and I just need to, like, get out of here. So, that'll be cool, right? New little setting. I'll try and make the new place nice. I'll do a little tour video or whatever. Some people for the longest time have wanted a tour video of this place, and, like, well, one, I'm fucking lazy, so there's that. And two, I never really wanted to do a tour video of this place because, like, it's just so cramped and small and kind of shitty, to be honest. But if a lot of you really bitch and want to see this place before it gets all uprooted, I'll do a quick one for you. So that's about it. That concludes this week's episode of Lost on PlayStation. I'm Ryan Beck. Thank you all so much for talking with me, and I'll see you guys next Friday.